Hello, and welcome to your Weight Loss Surgery Nutrition module. I am so excited that you are here. My name is Julia Brandt, and I am one of the dietitians on staff at SSM Health Weight Management Services. At SSM Health Weight Management Services, we recognize that the weight loss surgical process can be daunting, and therefore, as dietitians, it is our duty to provide you with all that you will need to succeed both before and after your weight loss surgery. During your dietitian visits, we will be covering more in-depth information that you will need from us, like your diet progression after surgery and the vitamins and minerals you must take. We will be setting specific goals with you to work towards being fully prepared for surgery. You will learn about the general guidelines that we expect you to work towards prior to your weight loss surgery, as well as to continue to follow after your surgery. It is my goal today to not only give you an outline of our expectations, but to also explain why this is important for your success. Let's get started. First and foremost, absolutely no carbonated beverages for life. Anything with bubbles must go. The reason we tell you that you cannot have carbonated beverages is because you are introducing gas, the carbonation, into a now smaller, tighter system. This could not only lead to some uncomfortable bloating, but remember that your stomach is a muscle. This muscle can stretch. So if you are adding gas into this muscle, your stomach, and potentially stretching it, we have now stretched out your pouch, which could lead to weight gain. Although we do not want you to drink carbonated beverages, we do want to make sure that you are getting enough fluid throughout the day. Here are a few options. Our goal for you is to consume 64 fluid ounces per day, or 8 cups of sugar-free, zero-calorie, non-carbonated beverages to prevent dehydration. We also want to make sure you watch how much caffeine you have in the day. Why? Because too much caffeine can be an irritant and can increase acid production in your stomach, which could lead to some uncomfortable acid reflux or even ulcers. You may have 1 to 2 cups of a caffeinated beverage like coffee or tea per day. Please note that we do not want you to drink any energy drinks. Energy drinks are usually carbonated, and they also have too much caffeine in one beverage. Also, in regard to your beverages, we do not want you to consume alcoholic beverages until about 1 year after your weight loss surgery. And keep in mind that when alcohol is allowed, we do not want you to drink any alcoholic beverage with bubbles. While we are talking about your fluid intake, here's a little something that may be new for you. With weight loss surgery, we need you to get in the habit of drinking your beverages between your meals, not with them. So, we need you to stop drinking all fluids 15 minutes before you eat, and don't drink any fluids until 30 minutes after you are finished. This, again, is because of that smaller, tighter pathway that you will have after your weight loss surgery. When it is time for a meal, we want you to fill up on your meal. So if you were to take a few sips of water while you were eating, this would most likely make you feel full faster and either cause you to stop consuming your meal, which would mean you're not getting all that your body needs, or if you continued, you may push your fullness to the limit and vomit. Very importantly, we want you to consume 3 meals per day. I know that can be hard if you are not used to eating 3 meals per day now, but in a bit we're going to be talking about protein supplements, and you will find that you can drink a protein shake and that can be considered a meal. If you feel as though you need snacks, you will be able to talk more specifically with your dietitian about what snacks are good choices during this process. When you are building your plate for your meals, half of your plate needs to be protein foods. Protein foods include meat, eggs, low-fat cheese, low-fat cottage cheese, nuts, and nut butters. You will eat this protein portion of your plate first. We focus on protein so much during this process for 2 reasons. Protein takes longer to digest when we eat it, so it makes you feel full longer. So when you are eating less food, this protein will help keep you feeling full. We also want you to focus on protein foods because when you are eating less, which inevitably you are after having weight loss surgery, your body wants to burn your muscles for energy before it turns to burning your fat. We don't want that. We want to keep those nice lean muscles and burn off our extra fat. So by consuming enough protein per day, you are forcing your body to burn your extra fat, which is our goal of weight loss surgery. So you may be thinking, how much protein do I need? If you are a male, you need at least 80 grams of protein per day. If you are a female, you need at least 60 grams of protein per day. The next portion you will eat is your non-starchy vegetables. There are a variety of non-starchy vegetables that you can enjoy. If you are still hungry, the last portion you want to consume is the starchy or carbohydrate portion. When you are eating, make sure that you're eating slowly, 15 to 20 minutes per meal. That is the goal for you, taking small bites and chewing your foods very well. We want you to watch the fat and sugar in your diet because they are high in calories. It is challenging to reach weight loss goals when you are eating food like fried chicken, donuts, or dessert because they are high in calories. We recommend that you avoid other foods high in sugar to prevent dumping syndrome. Dumping syndrome is something that can happen after a weight loss procedure when you have had high sugar foods. This is when those high sugar foods move too quickly through your GI tract, flood into your small intestine. Your small intestine thinks, "What is this partially digested stuff?" Floods water into your colon, your heart's pounding, you're sweating, and you have diarrhea pretty quickly. This is not at all ideal, and if you avoid these high sugar foods, you can avoid this issue. After you eat your high-protein, low-fat meal, we do not want you to lie down until about 1 hour after your meal. This is to keep gravity moving in the right direction. All other surgery-specific information will be covered during your visits with the dietitian. There are a few more guidelines that we want you to follow. However, they are more specific to the surgical procedure you choose and what changes you may need to make. You can take comfort in knowing that we, as your providers, will ensure that you have all the information that you will need in order to feel prepared for your weight loss journey. I would also like to discuss protein supplements with you today. Protein supplements can replace up to 2 meals per day. So for those of you fretting about my comment earlier stating that you had to have 3 meals per day, do not worry. I promise that you are not the first patient to not normally consume 3 meals per day. I am covering this information with you now because I would like you to start sampling some of these products to find out what you like. But first, I would like to share my protein rule with you. This rule teaches you how to decide if a protein shake is a good choice or not. We want to make sure that this protein supplement is truly high enough in protein before we start drinking them. I'm going to challenge you to start reviewing the nutrition facts label. When looking at the nutrition facts label of a protein shake, I want you to look at the total grams of protein as well as the total grams of carbohydrate. So here's the rule. Are you ready? The total grams of protein must be double or more the total grams of carbohydrate. For example, this label here says 12 grams of protein and 6 grams of total carbohydrate. Therefore, I know that this protein shake is a good choice because 12 is double 6. Let's say you walk into your preferred grocery store tomorrow and you pick up a protein shake. The label tells you it has 10 grams of total carbohydrate. How many grams of protein would be necessary to make this a good choice? Any ideas? Are you talking to the computer yet? If your protein shake tells you it has 10 grams of total carbohydrate, then this product must have at least 20 grams of protein to make this a good choice. Why? Because 20 is double 10. 10 grams of carbohydrate, 20 grams of protein. Now that you know the rule, I'm going to be showing you a couple of protein shakes that are good choices in terms of their nutrition facts label. If you are confused or have any questions, I would encourage you to start jotting down your questions so that when you come to your first dietitian appointment, you are fully prepared and we can address any of your questions, comments, or concerns. Now that you have a better idea of what we will be covering at your dietitian visit and why, as well as what protein supplements are appropriate, I would like to challenge you to do a few things before your first appointment. Start sampling some protein supplements, as I mentioned, to see what you like. My general suggestion to patients is to find about 3 protein supplements that they like. Start keeping track of what you eat. This will help us out in your dietitian appointment to gain a better idea of your eating patterns. Whether you want to keep a handwritten food journal using a notebook and pen, or if you want to use apps on your smartphone or computer like MyFitnessPal to log your foods. Start keeping track of what you eat and how much you eat of it. I would encourage you to bring this to your scheduled dietitian visit. I promise you, it is not our job to wag our finger based upon your journal. Our job is to help you achieve your weight loss goals, and by providing accurate and detailed information, we can work together to get you where you need to be. If you are interested in using an app on your smartphone or computer, but aren't sure how to use one currently, write that down. We have step-by-step guides that we can give you at your visit on how to use these apps so that it can be a smooth, easy process for you. Lastly, I'd encourage you to jot down some changes that you are motivated to make after watching this video. Whether you feel you need to slow down at your meals, get rid of soda, or start eating 3 meals a day, you are in control of this process, and we want you to start tackling what you are ready and willing to work on. So that's it. We have discussed what will happen at your dietitian visits, what your dietitian expects from you, guidelines for success with your weight loss journey, as well as protein supplements that are appropriate for your journey. Please continue to jot down questions, comments, or concerns as you have them and bring them with you to your scheduled dietitian visit. Thank you so much for your undivided attention today. I hope that you feel more comfortable with your process and that you are just as excited to meet your dietitian as we are to meet you.